Informational Text, What Are You Afraid of? On Monday, you will read a folk tale that also has the topic of fear. After you read the folk tale, you will be completing a support and refute activity. For the activity, the directions are: first, read each statement. Second, choose support or refute. Support means to agree, refute means to disagree. And 3, write your response in the appropriate column. When you respond, you will use the formula: state your position, STEM, text reference, STEM, explain. So for our first statement, I will show you an example. The statement is: Kyle suffered from mascophobia, fear of mascots. Unfortunately, he never had the courage to conquer his fear. So first I'm going to go back to the text and look for text evidence. And I see here in the third column of the article, the third paragraph of the article, it says Kyle suffered from a condition called mascophobia, fear of mascots. So that is true. I support that statement. Then it continues and says, unfortunately, he never had the courage to conquer his fear. As I go to the second page of the article, I see the heading Conquering Fear. So I know that I should start looking under this heading for the second part of my statement. And right in the first sentence, it says, not long after the hockey game, Kyle decided it was time to conquer his fear. And as you read through, it talks about how Kyle used the treatment called exposure to conquer his fear. He went to games, he slowly saw mascots, and at the end here it says, to celebrate Kyle's new fear-free relationship to mascots, his family decided to take a trip to Disney World. So I can see here that this second part of the statement is not true because he did conquer his fear. So I refute this part of the statement, so therefore I have to refute the entire statement. So I'm going to go to my refute column, and I'll start by stating my position. I refute this statement. According to the text, now I'm not going to use a direct quote here, so I don't need quotation marks. Kyle suffered from mascophobia. However, he did eventually, Kyle conquered his fear through a treatment called exposure. Okay, now I don't want to use opinion in my response because facts and text evidence make it more of a solid answer. So I'm going to say this direct quote right here. Not long after the hockey game, Kyle decided it was time to conquer his fear. In the text, it says, not long after the hockey game, Kyle decided to conquer his fear. And this is page 2 of the article. And then I'm going to use a STEM and explain This text evidence shows that Kyle, now I'm going to refer back to the sentence here. Kyle did have the courage to face his fear. And now I'm going to read my answer to check. I refute this statement. According to the text, Kyle suffered from masculophobia. Eventually, Kyle conquered his fear through a treatment called exposure. In the text, it says, not long after the hockey game, Kyle decided to conquer his fear. This text evidence shows that Kyle did have the courage to face his fear. Okay, so notice that I'm stating my position. I refute the statement. I use a stem here and I talk about the statement and why I'm disagreeing. So I say, yes, he had a phobia, but no, he did gain the courage to conquer his fear. Then I need text support. So I'm starting with a stem and using a direct quote. Stem, explain. So let me just highlight my stems here so you can see them. This text evidence shows. In the text it says. Eventually is a transition word. And according to the text. And then you can see my position right here. In class, you will have 4 statements, and you will either work independently or with a partner to read each statement and choose whether you agree or disagree using text support.